High income ETFs have completely transformed the entire investing landscape over the last few years. And if you've been watching this channel, you know we talk a lot about covered call ETFs. These are investments that sell call options on their underlying holdings to generate premium income, which is then distributed to investors as a dividend yield. Now, most investors think that if you want double-digit yields, I'm talking 10, 12, or even 20%, you have to use covered calls. It's the classic strategy. But they are actually not the only way. There's a lesser known strategy that has quietly outperformed many traditional high income funds. It has shown the ability to capture upside when markets rally, but more importantly, it has mitigated downside risk and overall price volatility significantly better than its peers. And that is what caught my attention. So in today's video, I'm breaking down an ETF that has flipped the income model entirely. It currently yields around 13%, and it has historically captured less than half the volatility of the S&P 500. And at times, it has even outperformed both its peers and the index itself. And the craziest part, it doesn't own a single share of stock. If you care about income stability and actually managing risk, you're going to want to see how this ETF works. We'll look at the pros and cons, the performance, and I'll use Seeking Alpha's charts, tables, and premium data to show you why this ETF might be the ultimate tool for income portfolios moving into 2026. And this brings me to WTPI, which is the Wisdom Tree Equity Premium Income Fund. This ETF has been on my radar for quite some time, and I have taken a really deep dive into how its strategy works. But first, let's take a look at the profile. This fund was actually established nearly a decade ago, but you probably haven't heard of it until recently. And that is because historically, it didn't distribute a dividend yield. Originally, the fund managers were just focused on risk-managed equity exposure, but they recognized that the market has shifted. Investors, especially retirees, want consistent cash flow. So back in 2022, they strategically pivoted. They positioned the fund squarely within the high income category, and most importantly, they started distributing dividends on a monthly basis. And by the way, this is information I find using Seeking Alpha articles. When you look at the fund's dividend history, you can clearly see the massive shift that took place, and that decision has been extremely beneficial. The fund has experienced massive growth in assets under management. You can see here the rapid growth in AUM just over the past 2 years. And in my opinion, AUM growth is one of the most important signs of a fund's efficacy and the market's confidence in its strategy. Now, before we dive into the fund's total returns and historical performance, we have to discuss its holding breakdown first, because this is where we figure out what to compare WTPI with. Like I mentioned at the beginning, WTPI does not hold shares of stock. Instead, the fund primarily holds US Treasuries and a floating rate Treasury ETF. These positions provide stable income and interest, which helps boost the overall yield. But the remainder of the portfolio that drives that 13% yield is allocated to the S&P 500 index put options. Yes, put options, not call options. And that makes the fund's total returns tied to the performance of the S&P 500. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Isn't buying puts a bearish bet? Isn't that betting that the markets will crash? And usually yes, but WTPI isn't buying puts, it is selling them. So how does the fund work? Well, in simple terms, the fund sells put options on the S&P 500, SPY, but not just one, typically 2 put options with 1 month to expiration. I'll explain that more in just a second. When you sell a put option, you are basically making a bullish bet. Your stance is that the underlying asset, the S&P 500, won't fall below a certain price by a certain date, and that certain price is the strike price of the put option that you sell. For example, if the S&P 500 sits at 680, I can decide to sell a put option at a strike price of 650 with an expiration date of around 30 days. I receive premium income for placing this bet, and that essentially says that I think the S&P 500 won't fall below 650 within the next 30 days. So you want the market to go up or stay flat, or at least not crash hard. Now, the next step is the income target. And this is arguably the most important part. The fund targets about 2.5% income per month. Every set of options they sell is chosen specifically to try and generate roughly 2.5% in premium every single month. That is huge. When you annualize that, it translates to roughly a 30% yield. But the fund managers are smart here. Instead of distributing all of that as a dividend yield, they are holding more than half of it to accumulate the fund's net asset value. This allows the fund's NAV to remain steady. You can see that clearly when you look at the fund's price return, which excludes its dividend distributions. But when you simply click on total return, you can see how much dividends the fund has distributed. Every single chart, graph, and comparison tool you're seeing in this video comes from Seeking Alpha. I use it every single day for ETF and stock analysis, and at this point, it is probably the most essential tool in my investing toolkit. Right now, they are running a Valentine's Day sale, and if you use my link down below, you will get $45 off their premium plan, which gives you access to all of these powerful tools. When it comes to market analysis, trending news, and in-depth breakdowns of stocks and ETFs, Seeking Alpha is always my #1 go-to. So if you want to take advantage of the sale, you'll find my link in the description and comment section down below. Now let's get back to the video. I've always said that NAV stability is the most important thing when it comes to high income ETFs. Sacrificing NAV for income does not play out well in the long term. When you look at the fund's yield on cost chart, which showcases the trend in dividend yield relative to net asset value, it is trending in a very strong upward direction from left to right. This indicates that it is a strong high income ETF with NAV growth. A flat chart is also a sign of a great high income ETF, but you want to avoid a chart that is trending downward from left to right, as that showcases NAV deterioration. Now, as mentioned, at any given time, the fund holds 2 put contracts. They have monthly expirations, but they roll them bi-weekly. Basically, 1 week before the contract expires, they close it out and sell a new one. This keeps the income generation extremely consistent and predictable, and that is what I love about the fund. Now, the strategy sounds great on paper, but how has it actually played out in the real world? Surprisingly, very well. I want to compare WTPI against some of the heavy hitters in the space, so we're going to look at JEPI, XYLD, and SPYI. Over the past 3 years, WTPI has actually outperformed prominent dividend ETFs specifically designed to provide high income, including JEPI, while still providing strong risk management. But since WTPI's strategy is tied to the S&P 500, it makes the most sense to compare it to the covered call versions of the S&P 500, such as XYLD and SPYI. WTPI has delivered significantly stronger returns than XYLD. Now, compared to SPYI, which is another favorite of mine, WTPI has slightly lagged over the past 3 years by about 5%. However, in the last 6 months, the total returns have been superior. In fact, it's been superior to the S&P 500 itself. And here's where WTPI wins. It captured those returns with much less price volatility. Now, let's take a look at the sell-off tests. During the recent October sell-off, look at the downside protection. WTPI cushioned the downside of the S&P 500 by roughly 2.5%. SPYI only cushioned it by around 1%. In the April sell-off, the fund managed to cushion the volatility of the S&P 500 by more than 50%, losing only 10% versus 15%. This outperformed SPYI, which lost around 13%. But when you look at the returns since then, they are almost perfectly in line. Now, what's interesting is that over the last 6 months, WTPI has managed to outperform both the S&P 500 and SPYI by almost 3%. And that is simply because there has been elevated volatility in the markets while the market has stayed flat and choppy. The put writing strategy thrives here because you are capitalizing on high premiums and boosting total returns rather than simply maintaining exposure to the market and capping your upside with covered calls. And this brings me to the fund's beta. Now, for context, beta measures volatility relative to the overall market. So a beta of 1 means that the fund's volatility is equal to the market. When it's above 1, it means that it is more volatile, and when it's below 1, it means that it is less volatile. And WTPI has a much lower beta relative to SPYI, currently sitting at around 0.5 compared to 0.77. This shows that it experiences significantly lower volatility. And for dividend investors, that stability is gold. Now, there is one massive technical detail we have to cover, because some of you might be worried and thinking, well, what if they get assigned the shares? What if the market crashes and they are forced to buy the S&P 500 at a high price? They won't, because the fund uses index options, not stock or ETF options. With index options, there's no assignment of shares. It is cash settled. It's clean, it's efficient, and it avoids the messiness of holding depreciating assets during a crash. So where does this leave us? Is WTPI better than a covered call fund like JEPI or SPYI? In my opinion, it does truly offer a unique approach, but the real magic lies in the risk management. Because the strategy is so straightforward, but also because they are holding treasuries, so the base value of the fund is incredibly stable. And when you combine that stable base with the income from the options, You get a fund that historically captures less than half the volatility of the S&P 500, but with the ability to provide exceptional total returns. Now, no investment is perfect, and with WTPI, you need to watch out for liquidity and taxation. While $400 million in assets is decent, it still lacks the deep liquidity of giants like JEPI, meaning you might face slightly wider bid-to-ask spreads or higher transaction costs until the fund grows further. More importantly, the dividends are likely taxed as ordinary income rather than at the favorable capital gains rates. However, this is not an issue if you hold the fund in a Roth IRA where dividends are tax-free, or a traditional IRA where taxes are deferred until withdrawal. And that is all for this one. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is not financial, investment, tax, or legal advice. Discussions of ETFs, investing strategies, market updates, or specific funds are general, not tailored to your financial situation, and should not be relied upon for decision-making. Investing involves significant risks, including total loss of principal, and past performance does not guarantee future results. I am not a registered financial advisor. My content reflects personal research and publicly available information. I may earn affiliate commissions from mentioned products or links disclosed per FTC guidelines, but these do not influence my opinions. Always consult a licensed financial professional and verify information independently. By watching this, you agree I am not liable for any losses or consequences from your actions. International viewers should consult local regulations.